At a meta level, the goal of any scam or phishing attempt is 1, to convince the person that you're providing a real service, and 2, that you're associated with the thing you claim to be associated with. Now, the way you do this is very much dependent on the sophistication of the scam. Some will just try to sound convincing, clearly using an unrelated domain and just working on the body of the content. Some will try to use similar sounding domains, so it might be, PayPal or PayPal, things like that. But the ultimate goal, the ultimate way you can approach this, is somehow abuse the legitimate domain service of the platform and send your completely fabricated scam scenario. So to someone who doesn't know what they're looking for, who might check the domain, they see it looks correct. So for them, it seems fine. Google has had a number of issues with this in the past, most recently being with YouTube, where people were sharing a private video with different accounts and it said notification from YouTube creators, and it was about monetization. So you'd go to the video and they would try to get you to click on a link in the description. This is kind of like what we're talking about today, but not with Google, not with YouTube, this time with GitHub. This has been a completely open attack vector for probably the entire time that GitHub has sent out emails when something happened on the platform. This exploited the GitHub issue tracker. Just the other day, out of nowhere, tens of thousands of people got a notification of an issue that looked like this. Unusual sign-in activity detected on your GitHub account, titled Notification. We noticed a login from a new device. For some reason, they chose Iceland. Don't exactly know why. Iceland isn't exactly known as a, hacker-rich country, a scammer-rich country. I don't know why they chose Iceland. Maybe they chose Iceland because it's not a country known for a lot of cybercrime, so it looks somewhat more legit. If this was you, please ignore this message. However, if you did not authorize this login, we recommend taking the following actions. Secure your account, change your password by going to this link right here, review your active sessions, and revoke any unrecognized access. Go to this link here, and have a look at this link here, and enable or verify two-factor authentication 2FA at this link here. Contact support if you feel your account security might be compromised, or if you need further assistance, please contact GitHub support at this link here. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Best regards, the GitHub security team. The ones that were made on active repos, these ones for the most part have been deleted. But if you go to GitHub, search notification, you will find thousands of these under the issue page where they're just still here because they were posted on either dead repos or repos that just don't really see much activity, or repos where the person doesn't really know what they're doing with it and they kind of just sit there. There is no rhyme or reason for where and why these were posted. Some people thought initially, oh, maybe they're targeting researchers, things like that. No, it's just widespread spam. Now, there were some minor modifications between each of these notifications, but for the most part, they were the exact same thing. But obviously, seeing this as an issue on GitHub, you would have to be one of the dumbest people on the planet to fall for this. But people weren't seeing this as an issue on GitHub, because GitHub, when a new issue is made on one of your repos, will send you an email. And how does that email look, you might ask? Notification from notifications@github.com. CC subscribed at noreply.github.com. And the reply to here is also github.com. So if you're just doing a cursory glance at this, the URLs match. This is the actual GitHub domain. Now, if you're paying close attention, you will notice things like, oh, it was created by this person here as an issue. But if you see security alert, unusual access attempt, and it looks like it's from GitHub, because it says it's from GitHub, this can be very easy to miss. And this can look like an actual security issue on your GitHub account. And yes, obviously a lot of people are going to notice it, but some people didn't. If you're stressed, if you're tired, yeah, I would probably miss something like this as well, especially if I've had a bad day or there's been another security issue that day as well. Like, you probably should look very closely here, but I'm not going to blame anyone who fell for this. But if there's a scam, if there's a phishing attempt, what exactly is the attack here? Well, remember how I mentioned there were links here? Now, I'm going to tell you this now. If you go to GitHub and you look at one of these issues, do not go to the place these links are sending you to, okay? Don't. Very bad. So, let's go into a text editor and post the link here. Okay, let's try another one. Copy link. Interesting. Let's grab another one. And another one. And how about the last one? All of the links on this page are the exact same link. It doesn't matter which one you click, they're all going to send you to the exact same place. Now, obviously, this is not the actual GitHub domain, and if you pay attention to the thing that is being opened, you will notice in the little pop-up down the bottom, which most browsers have, is not GitHub. This is a subdomain right here. OnRender is the actual domain. If you don't know, I didn't know this, OnRender is a cloud application platform. It was just a way to distribute this attack. And pretty much what this is being used for is as a redirect. Because whilst you might not notice it when it's this little thing down the bottom, you might notice it in your bar here. But what if there was a way to abuse GitHub's actual systems? This was reported on by Bleeping Computer. Fake security alert issues on GitHub use OAuth app to hijack accounts. All of the links for these recommended actions, those being the links on the issue itself, lead to a GitHub authorization page for a Git security app, OAuth app, that requests a lot of risky permissions and would allow an attacker full access to a user's account and repositories. This is a system built directly into GitHub, which, for good use, makes sense. This is something that should exist in GitHub. At the same time, though, it is very, very dangerous to give an unknown third party this level of access to your account. Now, it's not complete access, but it's about as close as you can get in the official channels that GitHub provides. So, repo grants full access to public and private repositories. User, ability to read and write to the user profile. Read org, read organization membership, organization projects, and team membership. Read discussion, write discussion. Read and write access to discussions. Gist, access to GitHub gist. Delete repo, permission to delete repositories. Workflows, workflow, write workflow, read workflow, update workflow, control over GitHub Actions workflows. Basically, the only thing they can't do on your account is change your password. That's pretty much it. Like, anything else, delete your repos, push your repos, modify your repos, inject some sort of GitHub workflow that's going to inject things into new repos, basically everything else. Now, there's two reasons why you go this approach as opposed to just taking over the entire account. One, you can use the actual GitHub domain to do this attack because this is being done through GitHub. This isn't some third-party website or anything like that. This is being done through GitHub's official systems. And two, it's a lot easier to hide things being done. You don't take over the account and change the password where someone is going to see, oh, my account has been accessed by a different person, my password is different, what's going on, why is there access happening from some weird region? This is a separate thing doing things on the things that you own. GitHub does make that information available, but it's a lot less available than a full account takeover. Now, being GitHub, a lot of people are going to see this and think, that's weird. I don't know about you, but anytime there is any security issue on one of my accounts, I don't click any of the links in the email. I go to the actual platform and then do everything through the actual website. I've seen way too many emails where they are clear scams, clear phishing attempts, and I don't trust any of them. Even if they come from the actual domain, even if they look fully legit, I do not trust them whatsoever. There are way too many exploits, and they're getting very, very sophisticated. But if you were the kind of person who is maybe less knowledgeable, maybe you're using GitHub and you're just first learning to program, you could have been affected. If you were impacted by this phishing attack and mistakenly gave authorization to the malicious OAuth app, you should immediately revoke its access by going into the GitHub settings and then applications. From the application screen, revoke access to any GitHub apps or OAuth apps that are unfamiliar or suspicious. In this campaign, you should look for apps named similar to Git Security App. There were some other names floating around as well, so it might not be exactly this. You should then look for new or unexpected GitHub actions, workflows, and whether private gists were created. Finally, rotate your credentials, so rotate your passwords and or your SSH keys, things like that, and authorization tokens. As it currently stands, the actual end goal here isn't entirely clear. As they weren't targeting any specific users, it appears it was just a widespread GitHub account takeover, as opposed to trying to get something specific out of this. Maybe injecting malware into GitHub repos, things like that. If there's anything more to it, I and Bleeping Computers don't really know. Now, by users who were paying attention, this got spotted pretty quickly, and there were a number of reports of the exact same thing happening. Now, I've only seen one case of an attack actually being done, someone actually falling for it. In that case, it looks like a possible, at least claiming to be an attempt at a ransomware scam. Now, this could be a one-off thing, so it's not entirely clear if this is like the wider goal here. But at least that was done once. Now, that is taking you to a Telegram, so what actually happens there? Well, hey, you'd have to find out in the Telegram. What I'm confused about is how this happened in the first place. So all of the accounts that were involved in this have been deleted, but there was more than one account. My question, though, is GitHub. How is it that thousands upon thousands of the exact same issue were made, and it didn't set off any alarm bells, didn't set off any spam filters, nothing like that, within a matter of hours? All of these were made. Let's go back 7 pages. Let's go back 9 pages. Are all of these the same thing? 100 pages. Okay, 100 pages are real. So at some point, these start being real, normal things. But surely, you have a system in place to stop this. And they do. It's just not good enough, apparently. You might not think GitHub users are the best people to go after with a phishing attempt, but some people will fall for them. And GitHub needs better spam filters in place to make sure this doesn't happen again. Yeah, so let me know. I didn't get an email about this, but if you got one, tell me about it down below and tell me how you reacted when you saw it. I'd love to know. So if you like the video, go like the video. If you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon, subscribe to the Libera Pay, linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and welcome to the hub.
Something like this.